Galactic Standard Date. Year 11356. Day 89. Sol Standard Date. 4th the 1st, 3267. Tama was flying through the void in the ship that was built to be one of the 17 most capable personal ships within the galaxy. Yet still, he was only able to shorten the time necessary to reach Sector 519 by a day, with him fully redlining his reactor and hyperdrive. Both were far beyond the safety limits that normally were prescribed. Tama figured that even if his ship burnt out, he could at least make it to the possible Terran space in that unexplored sector. It was, after all, where that monstrous ship had been pinged. They had managed to bridge the gap between sectors 519 and 520 in a matter of seconds, but it took just over half a day to cross the sector normally at full capacity. Tama wasn't at full capacity, however, he was significantly over it. He was reasonably certain, though, that the cargo vessel, if that is what it was, would have had no reason to stay in their system other than to load up at a Terran control station or planet, as they would just cross to the next inhabited sector without having to go through any others. Tama was now only 3 sectors away from 520, and 2 sectors from 519. It will only take him another day to reach Sector 519, where he can stop and ping the sector to see if any traces remain of the cargo freighter from before. If the cargo freighter left some sort of trackable signal, then he could possibly see where they went. Basilisk and Aurelius made their way to the teleportation chamber. They had just entangled the teleporter on the Amaryllis with the teleporter on the Glory to the Emperor, so now it was just a waiting game. Basilisk was hoping Catherine wouldn't procrastinate too much, but he knew better than that. He would give her an hour before he dropped in on their comms again. Catherine was at a loss as to what she could possibly do to prevent getting in trouble with Uncle Bassie again. After racking her brain, all she could come up with was one idea, and one idea alone. She needed to figure out a way to distract him from his anger with some good old cuteness. "Soran?" she said. Soran's ears perked up at the mention of his name. "Yes, my lady, I am at your command for anything you may need," he said with a little bow and a flourish of his hand. Catherine just smiled an almost evil smile. "I need you to tell me something. Does your galactic combat hold creatures that resemble these?" she said, as she projected pictures of dogs, honey badgers, cats, foxes, hawks, and snakes. Soran just let his mouth fall agape. Valenthy and Valthan had also just begun to stare at all the various images of creatures that looked incredibly familiar, but also very wrong. The creatures on the projection were undoubtedly of the Zeni, Armanas, Felis, Kintanjo, Asiki, and Asithis. Soran let his inner xenobiologist overcome his fear of the answer. "Yes, we have all of those, but I need to know, are there any creatures that look similar to us?" he asked shakily. Catherine just cocked her head in confusion as why the attendee seemed so scared. She just shrugged her shoulders and added one more species of animal to the board for them to see. It was a Terran mouse. "Well, of course we do, hun. I did call you guys little mouse people like all the time, right? I had assumed it was obvious that I had some form of reference to how you little guys look," she said flippantly. The 3 attendee was staring at what was obviously a distant cousin of theirs that had evolved in a vastly different way. Valenthy was the first to hit on the question they all had in their subconscious. "Where are these creatures from?" she asked. Catherine cocked her head again in the other direction. "Our cradle world, Earth. Why do you guys look so terrified?" All 3 of the attendee looked for all the world as if they had just learned one of the secrets of the entire universe. Maybe they had.